Hey, what's up everybody? Finally got a pickups video for you guys. Anyways, before I show off this Deschaux Rapier from Windlass, India, wanted to point out something that has to do with the handle. Looks like there's two variations of this sword. This one being the nicer, where it's got an actual bone handle. The other one is just fox bone, where it's just like a PVC type plastic made to look like bone, which they used white. So it really stands out on the plastic part. It's all smoothed out, shiny looking. That's mostly what I was finding on the websites that sell this sword. Otherwise, this one's definitely bone. Has some nice coloration to it because it looked like they used a piece of thick antler. And another thing that just kind of threw me, like, why would they do that on something that's made by Windlass? Usually their quality's pretty damn good. Said screw-on pommel on the websites, which made me want to take this thing apart just to see how it's put together. Is the first thing that popped in my brain was rat tail. And when they do a rat tail, that's usually on the really low-end swords that are just meant to be hung up on a wall or just displayed, not used, where it's a long steel rod welded to the end of the blade. And if you're gonna be striking stuff with it or just outright using it for practice or whatever, especially like samurai swords, very dangerous, to where it can either have it bend on you or it can flat out snap to where you got that blade snapping off heading towards your leg or whatever. So they're just meant to be hung up for display. So that right there, that being the blade, and then that being the weld area, and then the rod going up would be rat tail. Anyways, this one, it's full tang, and the only part that's got stripping on it where it tapers way down is where the pommel screws on. Otherwise it is full tang, so nice and strong like it should be. This is the first one I've gotten from Windlass that they do it that way. All the other ones I have, like my Viking sword, that little end there is pointed and just goes clear through the pommel out the top of it, and then they bend it and just hammer it and then weld it so it's on permanent. Which for swords like this, and I'm wondering if they do this with all of their fencing type swords or just rapiers or whatever, where you can unscrew that and disassemble the sword for repair or maintenance or whatever, just whatever. It does have wire wrapped around the handle. Not too crazy on it, so if it came loose, easy enough to fix. But it gives you that option so you can take off the handle and work on it a lot easier than trying to do it when it's all put together. This one, on the wire that wraps around, there's just a little hole that they drilled at each end of the bone handle that the wire sticks into, and then it looks like they put in some epoxy resin. And hopefully this camera will pick it up, as the handle is freaking beautiful on this thing. Each end of it has a band of not just twisted wire like they do on a lot of the swords. It's literally woven to where it's 3 strands each, flattened out, and then just woven and then welded. So just really cool looking. Now on the blade on this one, it's got a crazy long freaking blade because it's meant for like fencing. And I'm sitting really close to the camera here, so I'll just try and show you as much of the blade as possible. I got to be careful taking it out of the sheath, as my arm here is still messed up. I don't have the mobility. So let's kind of turn away here and show it to you guys in the sheath here first. It's their typical sword sheath. It's metal on top and then metal on the bottom. Some more fancier than others. And then leather where it's all stitched going down the back of it. Otherwise, nice double-edged tapered down blade here. This one hasn't been sharpened. I don't mind that. I think the way Windlass does now, and possibly the way they've always done, probably unless you're a wholesaler and you're going to buy a bunch of them, they don't sell from the website directly. They just give links for other sites like Cult of Athena. That was one of the sites that has this sword. Hopefully still has this sword. And on that, I don't know if it's this variation or the other one where it's fake bone for the handle that's just white. Otherwise, I'm trying to show it here. Come on, camera. See, it's real bone. Has all the stains in it that you'd have with an antler. And that ain't gonna pick it up. A lot of times with antler, because those cute little deer love beating the living shit out of each other, there'll be little freaking hairlines, stressed fractures in it. It is showing that. It still has all the marks where they ground it down to shape it. Otherwise, see there on the wire. Oh, this stupid camera just doesn't focus. Come on, focus. I don't know why they can't make these damn things focus good. Otherwise, the center strand there on the handle is twisted wire, and then it's got just straight wire that follows it. I wanted to try and show here, because it really does look cool. It's just going to be a pain in the freaking ass. This is where this blade is a pain in the butt. Just don't have the room. Oh, come on. It's like it tries and then it doesn't. There, you can kind of see there how it's been woven. And it's at both ends. Just really makes it look cool. And then instead of just tucking in the wires or whatever, folding them over, it's welded. See the little weld mark there? Now this one, I couldn't get just a flat out price for it, like one site, and I'm wondering if maybe it's the higher price is where you're adding in the blade sharpening and the actual bone handle and maybe some other stuff. It was almost $100 difference. There's one where it's starting out at about $250 up to about $350 or whatever. So you got me. Otherwise, like I said, this is the nicer variation where you get a real bone handle and then the other one is plastic. Also, when I took off the handle, because deer antler, the center of it a lot of times will be just more crumbly and whatnot, what they did was stick in some just steel wire or whatever here and there around it just to get it more centered for how it fits together. Like I say, on the pommel, actually, let's see. Doesn't go completely to the top of the pommel on where it screws on. I'd say about halfway on the pommel on how much it screws into, so very sturdy. And I am going to have to wipe this down. As usual, all the metal is carbon steel, not stainless, so you do have to take care of these by oiling the blade or just keeping it wiped down. That was one thing that disappointed me. This was something where somebody brought in a collection of swords into one of the local pawn shops here, and I'm thinking it's where they had them stored, either in a storage shed or unit or whatever, and had moisture to where this one, I thought it had some rust on the blade, but really it didn't. It was just spots from the oil that they spray on the blade before they put it in the sheath to ship it. And it just looked gooey like rust or whatever. Just kind of fooled me. Otherwise, this one cleaned up nice, but another one that they had that was shorter rapier type sword really rusted up. And they were still wanting about the same price as this one for some crazy ass reason. But man, I would have had to really work on it. The metal parts on the scabbard had rust, especially on the tip of it. Like maybe it had a little puddle of water that it was setting in for a while, to where just the very tip was all rusted up. And I didn't know if I could get it better or not. And then I say the blade had rust on it. Just too much work. So out of the ones that I grabbed, this one and then the one that I got afterwards for less money, a lot less money. That one, all I had to do is just wipe it down. It has brass parts, so I just wiped down the brass to get it all polished, and holy freaking shit. Beautiful, beautiful. One of the most beautiful swords I've ever bought, man. Probably, unless they bring in more, probably the only one of its type and make is in the company that makes it that I'll ever be able to afford. But man, it just told me my pawn shop does not look this stuff up. They just had it as a fantasy sword. If they would have looked it up, oh, it would have been expensive as all hell. So, that's why I like pawn shops. So, put this thing in a safer spot here. Just tell you guys what's been going on and why I haven't done any vids for a while. Or since last month. Which a lot of it's been the damned heat. I just can't stay in one place too long without dying from the dang heat. Also, and I recommend this for anybody that's going to be going through this situation, I brought up in either my last video or one of the previous ones that I was trying to get my mom on hospice. Anyways, going through our doctor's office was a complete and total waste of time and a pain in the ass. All it did was just stress the living crap out of us. She can't have any stress. She literally turned 92 this month, so she can't have any stress. Anyways, this is definite luck, people, to where somebody remembered her. Anyways, the place that my doctor's office last wanted to go through for hospice, they didn't accept her, but one of the ladies that worked there transferred to a hospice place here in Kingman and said, hey, I know she didn't qualify. Let's see if we can get her qualified for this hospice. So she gave me a call, and holy shit, she got qualified in 2 fucking days. They had their own people. Didn't go through my doctor's office and her doctor's office whatsoever. Had their own people come out, as in their own nurse come out, check her out. I figure they put her down as not full-blown dementia, but like on the verge, as her memory's just shot. Her short term just doesn't work good at all, so she could get worse as she's had strokes. But anyways, man, one day to come out and evaluate her, and then the next day they gave us a call and said everything went through okay, she's on it. So like, holy freaking shit. Doctor's office, they wanted you to do everything that the doctor's office, as in have me bring her to the doctor's office in bad shape for multiple appointments to see if maybe she could get qualified. As in have a whole bunch of tests done for the same thing that this nurse that came over did in 2 freaking days. So if you guys have a loved one that's due for hospice, I recommend check your area and see if you can find one that has their own nurses that will come to your home, so you don't have to get them out of the house. They just come to your home and will evaluate. Unless it's something obvious, like my dad had congestive heart failure, so he was already in the hospice, and then his doctor said, okay, we can't do any more for his heart or it's going to kill him, because he was just too weak, too old, so let's put him on hospice. Well, with my mom, different. Didn't go to the hospital. She was having TIA strokes, ischemic, and maybe one worse, I don't know. The last stroke she had kind of messed her up a bit more than usual. Where they usually with the ischemic strokes or TIA strokes, it's just a little bit at a time, where either you'll notice it or you won't, or you'll just feel off for a day or so and then you feel almost okay. That's kind of the way it was hitting my dad when he had his strokes. Just be a little bit at a time, and then he started having bad ones and then seizures or whatever. But man, so much easier. So much freaking easier. So that's why it's like I haven't been doing anything on the computer like this lately. It's been just meet and greet with all the people that are going to be coming over to help her. She's got people coming over weekly just to check up on her and stuff. So man, oh, I may look out of it and just not that happy, but really, this is the look of happiness. So that's been some of why, and then just this freaking weather, man. We've had some hot summers, but not where it's 100 freaking degrees or just high 90s every single freaking day. So I'm all welcome to this monsoon crap where the humidity can drive you crazy too, but at least it knocks that temperature to where you can tolerate it for a few days. So, that's some of it too. She's sleeping right now, so that's why I'm able to do a vid. Otherwise, it's slave boy Jimmy. That's pretty much it, man. I do everything now, so I just don't get that much freedom to do this while she's awake. So I'll see if I can get the other video done today. Otherwise, it'll just be this one, because I really want to show off the other sword, and hopefully I can get some of the detail on that one to pick up on this damned camera, because the detail on it is incredible. I mean, it really shows that it's an expensive sword. It's beautiful detail. Later, everybody.